Hello everyone, welcome to the learning series. This is Lakshit Pan from Azure Developer Community, and today's session is around vision to venture and your journey and the journey to entrepreneurship with Rohit Sardana sir. He is the co-founder and CEO of Reskill, and he'll be sharing his incredible insights about entrepreneurship, about his startup journey, and how you can start your entrepreneurship journey with Rohit Sardana sir. So I'll quickly pass on the stage to Rohit sir to share his insights about the startup culture. Over to you, sir.
Lakshit, hi, thank you. Will you be able to help me run the
Yes,
PPT?
yes, yes, sir. You
Hi,
are audible.
you can hear me. You can hear us, right?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So I had prepared a very basic PPT. I thought I'll just quickly share it with everyone here. Is my screen visible now?
Yes, it's visible.
Perfect. It is, right? Is the
Yes,
screen
it's visible.
visible?
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Okay, perfect. I thought I'll just quickly prepare what do we mean by entrepreneurship and then take you through what we've been doing. Any sense who entrepreneur is? Anyone here? So who is an entrepreneur? Entrepreneur is a French word which means to do things, undertake things. It's about innovation, productivity, effective, building competitive businesses as we call it as. Uh, Amongst you, there would be a lot of people who are good at, doing jobs, and amongst you, there are people who could actually, go out, create businesses, and generate, jobs for people uh, overall. And people who can build their own businesses, create jobs for others are known as entrepreneurs in a very broader manner. Concept is very simple. You basically start a business, service, product that you feel can do can do good for the society, good for the company that you're trying to build. Is a product and service that is required for the market. So it can be new product. For an example, Nike launching new shoe range. It can be a new method of production, which essentially means in an agricultural environment, from a normal production to now only organic production used by Lays for chips, etc. Opening up a new market like Zoho has been doing, setting up, you know. In global locations, opening up offices across the globe, etc. It can also mean new sorts of supplying. I mean, services. Infosys is a great example. A startup started in very late 80s, early 90s, is now the global leader in tech development space. Has offices across the globe. I would want to believe. Uh, Basically, I am sure some of you would have entrepreneurs, and you would have seen entrepreneurship amongst your parents, friends, family, etc., etc. People were doing business because they thought they do not want to do the jobs. They had the ability to generate business and stand facing, stand tall in terms of facing the uncertainties. The new way is to uh, use technology to build business. It may be a conventional business, but the traditional was like a dhanda. I mean, in Hindi it's called dhanda, wherein largely uh, the product costs this much, it will sell at cost plus plus, and you will do the business. Today people are talking about market share, people are talking about audiences numbers, people are talking about using technology to go to uncharted territories in terms in terms of locations, in terms of uh, empowering machines, etc., etc. And that's the way business has changed. uh, you basically thrive on opportunity. So some of you would have seen or read about how in COVID, good or bad, I'm not judging them. People opened up factories for masks. People opened up hand glove factories. People opened up, uh, you know, hand sanitizer factory. So while the world was going through a tough phase, people saw an opportunity and built businesses. They innovated. They actually created organizations. So classic case is Dolo 650. No one had heard about them before COVID, and everyone was basically consuming Dolo 650. So they created, businesses. They created, they capitalized on the opportunity. They created an organization out of it. I was reading in Forbes or one other magazine wherein uh, during COVID time their wealth was multiplied by 600x, 680x as to what they were just pre-COVID. So they saw an opportunity. They just, and then there are unique businesses. So for an example, I'm sure all of you are using uh, Paytms and Swiggy and Zomato and Blinkit and so on and so forth. So those are new unique service-led businesses which have caught the attention of young folks like yourself. A typical entrepreneur or a startup founder is innovative. He or she has the capability of taking risks. He or she takes some fantastic creative decisions. He knows how to, or she knows how to get resources to work at an optimum level. She has managerial leadership qualities. He or she knows how to get the best out of the market, the employees, the business opportunities, and understands what's happening across the globe and sees an opportunity in whatever is happening around the globe. This is same. I mean, I've done job throughout my life. So I was working for others. I was following an instruction. It was a very routine job. Salary was fixed. It never increased, never decreased. So I can completely vouch that salary does not create wealth. And I was working in a private sector. I was employed by media organizations in my previous avatar. I got bored of what I was doing. I wanted to work on my terms. Therefore, started whatever We are doing. So became my own boss. We plan on our own. And I'm not saying we have succeeded. We failed multiple times, but that's the way I wanted to work. And therefore, founders will have to be very risk takers. They cannot be risk averse. Plus, they should know how to fall, how to stand up again once they fall. And the falling is a continuous process. You will fall and fail for umpteenth number of times before you hit first goal or a sale or whatever you want to call it as. We've seen founders success stories wherein they've created wealth, they've created to the growth of country, GDP, jobs, and so on and so forth. And all of them are founders, young leaders like yourself only. So yeah, this we touched upon. So there could be a, I mean, there are various metrics to understand. So you, some of you would have seen in your home, some of you would have, parents running, working in, as we call it, as SMEs, MSMEs, young startup shops, factories, and so on and so forth. So all of this is basically privately owned. Maybe some of you would have your parents working in government organizations, etc., etc. So there are these, private jobs and government jobs. You can actually start solo as well. Uh, you can Since you are an academic institution, you could join hands with your friends and start a company, and so on and so forth. So there are various ways and formats to begin now. Even so much so that Government of India, especially under the initiative of Startup India, there are these incubation centers being set up in academic institutions. Uh, I'm sure your academic institution has one. If not, they must be having. They must be, kind of having it very soon. So you could actually look at where they are called Atal Incubation Centers. They're only for academic institution students like yourself. So you could go, present your idea, present your vision, and if selected, you get grants, you get orders, you get mentorship, you get hand holding, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of ecosystem around startups now in India. You've seen a lot of startups, like a Ritesh Agarwal of Four Rooms, Mukesh Ambani. I mean, it's no longer a startup, but when he would have started out, success story of India. They've done exceedingly well in building India as a country. As I was saying, Startup India has fantastic ideas on building the startup ecosystem. Just to kind of give you a sense, we started very late as a startup country. We're now, I think, number three. First being US, the Silicon Valley. Second being China. Third us. So I think, and the amount of capital that has been infused in our country, I think we've overtaken China in terms of investment being put in and being raised in startups of India. So we're in a golden era, golden spot at the moment, and this is a great time for you to start if you're looking at, because looks like next decade or so will be of India, where an investment, wherein all eyes from global players are on India. So everyone would want to come and set up their shops, etc. So if you have an aligned business, they would want to work with you, and so on and so forth. So, so uh, every large formatted business starts with an idea. So I don't know if all of you watch movies, etc., etc. But there's a fantastic movie called The Founder. It's a McDonald's story, and it's a story how McDonald's started with one store and then became the favorite, fast food joint across the globe. If you've already not, I mean, if you've not seen it, I would highly recommend just go out and watch it. It also shows the characteristic of an entrepreneur who basically fights. Thank you. I mean, I'm happy to answer question. I thought I'll just introduce ourselves via uh, a PPT, but happy to answer any sort of questions that you have.
Sure, guys. If you have any questions regarding the startup culture or so, please let us know in the comment section. We would be very happy to answer. And yeah, and also I'm sharing some couple of links in the comment section so that you can join the Discord server and you can follow us over the LinkedIn. And also we do a lots of activities. I just wanted to request Rohit, if you could explain how we do at Reskill to these students so that they can get an idea.
Sure. So we are essentially a upskilling platform. We work with engineering students who want to understand emerging technologies, who are part of an academic institution at the moment. So we work with them as what we do, and on the other hand, we work with companies and organizations like Microsoft train student developers on Azure, on cloud, on Microsoft offerings. Then we work with Meta on augmented reality. Then we work with Intel on AI, machine learning, and so on and so forth. So essentially, if you want to learn about emerging technology, just look us up on LinkedIn. Maybe you could follow us on LinkedIn. We do a lot of stuff in cities where you are. We do a lot of online training sessions. We do a lot of online engagement session, quizzes, etc., etc., etc. Just I would request Lakshay to kind of put our LinkedIn handle in the chat, and if you deem fit, just follow us there.
Yeah, so I'm just sharing the LinkedIn. I've just shared over the chat box so you guys can follow us and you can stay updated through LinkedIn because we really put everything, every update through our LinkedIn. So you can just follow us over the LinkedIn. And also, at last, I just like to thank you, sir, for your precious time for these students and sharing your insights about the entrepreneurship journey and about the startup culture. We'd be very happy to further guided by you in future and looking forward to host you in future. Thank you, sir, for joining us. And for the listeners, guys, will be this session will be for the boot camps will be for around the 7 days. So what we'll be doing is there will be 6 more sessions on Azure where you'll be getting some insights about Azure networking, Azure hands-on learning on Azure identity and management, access management, and there will be much more incredible sessions on Azure where you will get hands-on learning with our industry speakers. So I'm looking forward to see you all there, and I hope you will learn the best practices of AZ900 certification for the same because this bootcamp is designed in such a manner so that you can just kickstart your journey for the Azure fundamentals and you can just at least achieve the beginners. So yeah, at least you can achieve the beginner friendly certification. For joining in and see you tomorrow, guys. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.